Shout out to Caressa McKnight for sending me this story. Now, if you don't know who this is in this picture, this is Kellen Winslow Jr. And he was the former NFL player who a few years ago got hit with rape charges. And I'm talking about multiple rape charges, ones that one should not walk away from. And he looks different in this picture. Like, if I was to see him walking down the street, I would not recognize him whatsoever. Like, they basically clean shaven, giving him that look, quote unquote, what look I'm talking about, which is a far cry from how he looked in previous pictures, like when he was locked up and wearing his prison blues. Now, of course, when he was playing football, he didn't have hair on his head. He did, but he had like a low, almost bald cut kind of look to him whatsoever. But anyway, the latest news and probably the end of his saga is that he recently pled guilty to rape, which means he pretty much has admitted to he did it, and sexual battery. And now he faces 12 to 18 years in prison. Now you know for a fact that this is indeed a melanated man, because if he was, he might have gotten 12 to 18 months, maybe less. Look at Brock Turner. He only got 3 months. But then you also got to take into account, too, that this is not only a black guy, but this is a black guy who used to be a professional athlete. He literally has fallen into the same category as Darren Sharper. If y'all don't know who Darren Sharper was or is, because he's not dead. If you don't know who Darren Sharper is, he, too, was an NFL player who had multiple rapes under his neck, under his belt. And he's currently in jail right now. And I think he might have gotten a longer prison sentence than what he's going to get. And that was back in, 2011? And he's still in jail. And rightfully so. But there's a lot of people, especially a lot of women, saying, how could a man that looked that good, because that's what they were saying, how could a man that looked that good go around and rape women? I said, rape is not about how you look. As a matter of fact, a lot of people who do rape use their looks to their advantage. But rape is about power and domination. And that's what he used. Of course, he probably used his looks to get in because he knew a lot of women would fall for it. He had a plan. He had a master plan. But this guy right here is probably no different. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It's his former NFL player Kellen Winslow Jr. pleaded guilty Monday to raping an unconscious teen and sexual battery involving a 54-year-old hitchhiker. Winslow entered the pleas as he was about to be retried on 2 rape allegations in San Diego County Superior Court. In exchange for his plea, the court agreed to sentence him to between 12 and 18 years in prison. He had faced life in prison if convicted of rape on multiple counts in the retrial. So the reason why he pretty much now is admitting to guilt or pleading guilty is because of the plea deal. He'd rather get 12 to 18 years rather than a life sentence. In June, the jury found him guilty of raping a homeless woman in Encinitas, north of San Diego. Now, you got to be one sick in the head person to rape a homeless person. Like, they don't have anything as it is. They don't have any shelter. They don't have any money. They have nothing. And your idea of giving them something is to take something away from them in a non-consensual sexual act. You have to be sick in the goddamn head to do something like that. Jurors also convicted him of 2 misdemeanors: indecent exposure and a lewd act in public involving 2 other women. But that jury failed to agree on other charges, including the alleged rape of the hitchhiker and the rape of the unconscious teen in 2003. Under the plea deal, the attack of the hitchhiker was reduced to sexual battery. The 36-year-old former tight end, at one point one of the highest paid in the NFL, had previously pleaded not guilty to undecided charges. His attorney, Gretchen Von Holmes, has said the sex was consensual. 5 women took the witness stand this summer, and 3 of them were expected to testify again. Defense attorneys attacked the credibility of the 5 women and pointed out inconsistencies in their stories in the first trial. The court had planned to allow the new jury to hear that Winslow was convicted of raping the homeless woman who would have been among those testifying again. Jurors would also have been told about the indecent exposure conviction, though that woman was not expected to take the stand. Winslow, who played for Cleveland, Tampa Bay, New England, and the New York Jets, earned more than $40 million over 10 seasons. Let me stop right there. Why did they feel the need to have to throw his money in here? See, this is the part that I'm talking about right here. They could have said that he played for these teams and they could have left his salary out of it. Why did we have to know that? Oh, that's right. Because they're constantly pocket watching black men. Granted, what he did was a very disturbing and disgusting act. But at the same time, when it comes to these palm colored condensed milk looking athletes, they don't talk about how much money they were making. They'll just say they played on this such and such team. They may have won championships, and they'll leave it at that. But with them, they got to talk about his salary. I don't care how much money this man is making, because guess what? Where he's going, it ain't going to benefit him. I hope that whatever money he made is somewhere stashed away, maybe for his family, whatever's left of it. He is the son of Chargers Hall of Fame receiver Kellen Winslow, who was in the courtroom throughout the first trial. The defendant did not testify at his first trial. Listen, hey, like I said, like they say, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. Well, when that comes to us, you already know we're gonna do the time, even if the crime doesn't fit it. But at the same time, it ain't looking bright for this guy's future. And on top of that, now he's pleaded guilty to get the plea deal. That's the nail in the coffin they needed. So they say, well, you won't go to the jail for life, but we will give you a certain amount of time. So he's 36 now. If he does 12 years, he will get out when he is what? 46? No, I'm sorry. 48. And if he has to do 18 years, he'll be in his early 50s. It is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.